I am aware that I'm not the good one in this story, and what I did is probably one of the most awful things that someone, especially a woman, can do to another woman. This revenge took me a long time to put together, but believe me when I tell you, I couldn't let this slide for the people that wronged my mom. Just know that I take nothing of what I did back, but still had to get it off my chest somehow. I was an only child to two loving parents. Mom had a difficult pregnancy and an even harder labor. It was so bad that the doctor advised them to never try again. My dad got a vasectomy as he didn't want his wife to die. I was sad that I didn't have any siblings, but I had a happy childhood. Sadly, that ended when I became a young adult. When I was in the middle of college, Mom was diagnosed with stage 4 high-grade serous ovarian cancer. It's the most aggressive form of ovarian cancer, and Mom's older sister and my grandma both died from it. We knew her odds weren't good. I don't know what Dad was thinking. I really don't. But he started an affair with his coworker, a woman just a few years older than me named Mary. Mary started integrating herself into my and my mom's life. She'd go shopping for us, keep the house in order, help me with homework, and even sit with Mom when Mom was going through chemo and Dad and I weren't there. And no, I had no clue at all. I just thought it was Mary being kind to a family going through a hard time. Mom fought. She fought hard, but the odds just weren't in her favor. One day I was visiting her in the hospital and we were playing chutes and ladders. Mom got real quiet and then she told me, "You do know your dad isn't planning to reverse his vasectomy, right?" I was surprised, wondering what she was talking about. "Yeah, I know," I said. "Why?" Mom just looked at me and said, "I think you'd best keep it in mind." We continued playing, and when I left for the night, I kissed her and she said, "You'll be fine on your own." She died that night. I believe she knew she was going to die that night and didn't want to scare me. Once again, Mary was right by our side. She helped us plan the funeral, brought us food, helped out around the house, and slowly started moving her things in. It was like putting a frog in a pot of water and having the temperature raised. It was slow. It was gradual. A year or so later, she had completely moved herself in and was part of our lives. I don't remember what made me suspicious enough to start digging, but start digging I did. I learned the affair began shortly after my mom's diagnosis. I was sickened, furious, and saddened. I took out my cell, ready to confront Dad and Mary with the knowledge. But something else struck me. See, during one of her visits, Mary mentioned to Mom and me that she wished to have children with her fiancé. My mom knew the affair was going on, and she trusted me to spill the beans. But I wanted to twist the knife further. As a result, I decided to play the long game. It was a gamble, one that had a good chance of not paying off, but it was one I was willing to take. I kept my mouth shut. I watched as they courted, got engaged, and married 3 years later. I squealed with delight when they announced their engagement to me, wore a proud smile on their wedding day, and made a toast at the reception. I even took extra steps to hide the test results from Dad's urologist in such a way that Mary wouldn't find out. Believe me, I was internally screaming. I wanted the world to know the way they hurt Mom and me during her darkest hour. I got dangerously close several times, but I said nothing, knowing the payoff would be worth it. Time passed. We played happy family. I got married to my awesome husband and had children. Dad and Mary played grandparents, but I knew from the pained look on Mary's face that she was bemoaning her empty nest. Just as I was beginning to give up hope, the day came. Mary and I had started the tradition of getting together for coffee shortly after Mom's death. We would talk girl things, laugh, cry, love, gossip, that sort of thing. That day, Mary was sad and sullen. I could tell she had been crying. I asked what was wrong. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard why. She was struggling to get pregnant for years but assumed it was stress from work. Then her periods started coming fewer and farther between. She decided to go to the doctor and find out why. It turned out she was entering perimenopause, and her chances of successfully getting pregnant had dwindled. The doctor told her, in essence, her childbearing years were over. As I made some sympathetic noises, Mary said, "It doesn't make sense. We tried so hard to have kids, but I wasn't able to get pregnant. I don't know why." It was then that I knew it was time. "You mean Dad didn't tell you?" I said. "Didn't tell me what?" she asked. I was fighting every chance to smile as I tried playing the "it's not my right to tell" and "I can't believe he didn't tell you," until she practically begged me. I should have won an Oscar for my performance. I told her about the vasectomy and that my dad had no intention of reversing it. You should have seen Mary. She completely deflated like a balloon. Her shoulders slumped. She bowed her head and she sobbed in her hands. I wanted to rejoice. I wanted to rub her face in it. I knew, though, that would make me look like the bad guy. So I hugged her and rubbed her back, telling her Dad was horrible for not telling her, that she deserved a different outcome and that he completely wasted her time. Again, I was fighting to not smile. When she left, I told her I would always be there for her. But I knew she wasn't going to be part of my life anymore. Why would she? I was the daughter of the man who betrayed her. Once she had left and I was alone, I wept with joy and relief that it paid off, but also deep sorrow that Mom hadn't been there to see it. That was the last time I saw or talked to Mary. A few weeks later, my dad called me in a fury. Mary had packed her bags and left, slapping him with divorce papers. She yelled at him for not being honest with her, that he had a vasectomy he had no intention of reversing, that he knew she wanted kids, and that she had wasted all of her childbearing years, and that she had to find out about it from me. He then said, "How could you do that to us? We loved you." I then said in a cold tone, "You and Mom did a great job teaching me how to keep secrets." I hung up, and that was it. I never spoke to him again either. Last I heard, he and Mary were divorced, and everyone shunned him because of what she did to her. I know I won't be joining Mom after I die. What I did was cruel. It was horrible. I should have done what Mom wanted and spilled the beans beforehand instead of wasting Mary's youth and childbearing years. Even if she could adopt, she'd probably die before her children were fully grown. Although, it's hard to have compassion and mercy for a woman who got herself involved in a dying woman's marriage. I really hope I can raise my children better. If you are still here and enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.